Ma chambre a la forme d'une cage. Le soleil passe son bras par la fenêtre.
Bonjour. I didn't see you there. Probably because I don't need glasses. I was just picking up a little bit of Albert Camus, speaking with Jacques here, and we wanted to welcome you back to La Cuisine Quarantine. It's me, your host, Claudette. Today we will be making a bit of Duck Confit, but first we must start by making a nice strong drink. It's a bit early for wine, so today we're going to be making a White Russian, specifically because it's the ingredients I have in my house. Desperate times call for desperate measures. This quarantine has been a bit much. I've never drank vodka before in my life. You'll see, it's a small but new bottle. So, what we will start with is, as always, we have to test the product to make sure it's okay. Yes. Oh, that will put hair on my chest. We're going to take 2 ounces of vodka. It burns. We're going to take 1 ounce of Kahlua. This was originally called a Black Russian, which was, of all things, invented by a man from Belgium. And then we are going to take a little splash of heavy cream. This was made famous by our friends, the Dude. And as always, with all cocktails, you should always add the ice last because it is the ingredient that will dilute the entire thing. I'm building this in the glass rather than a shaker because it will come out better and I'd like to drink it as quickly as possible. So now we add a bit of ice and I'm going to just give this a quick little stir. It was popular through the 1960s and then became a bit of a novelty, kind of like the Harvey Warbanger, which is a drink that no one orders unless they are stupid. It involves Galliano, which is a bottle that doesn't fit on any bar shelves, and so you buy it once in a generation, and then your grandchildren throw it out for you later. Oh, so good. Okay, so today we're going to be making Duck Confit, which is an old school technique for preserving duck, which originates in France. There are 2 techniques. Before there were refrigeration, you could either salt cure things like Jacques here, or you could store them in fat. These ducks are not from France, they're from Long Island, which nowadays is a good place to get coronavirus. But what we will need for them is going to be salt, pepper, brown sugar, garlic, 1 lemon, 1 orange, some thyme, and of course the duck. What we will start with is we will take the orange and the lemon. My technique is to do 1/2 lemon and 1/2 orange per leg. And what I'm simply going to do is remove the zest. Or there's always the old school technique that I learned from my grandmother. And that is nice and all, but I'll show you how to do it by hand. We'll have to do the same with garlic. We're going to use 2 cloves. Again, the way I do it is 1 per leg. This recipe is very easy so long as you use these ratios to make for 40 or 50 people in the event that you have, I don't know, been hired to cater your ex-boyfriend's birthday party. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put salt and pepper and a little bit of brown sugar, a bit more. You want it to look like a churro. That's the best way to describe it. I think there's not enough, salt for you really to have any sort of understanding. It's all about the visuals when you do this. Okay. So now that we've done this, you'll see I changed hands because I've touched the duck with the other hand. It's good to have 1 hand that touches dry ingredients, another that touches the wet ingredients, especially when you're going to be using these ingredients for things again. So yeah, that looks like the correct amount. You see what I'm saying? Now we are going to take a little bit of brown sugar, and this doesn't crumble as well, so you'll see what I'm going to do is kind of just like eyeball how much it is, and then we're going to get our hands real dirty once we put these things in there. So before we go too far, I'm going to take a bit of thyme. I don't really have a ratio, it's always again by visual. Let's say like, yeah, about that much, a little bit less than a bunch. And we're going to just pick it and put it in. The entire thing is going to be a cure, that's what we're building, right? So what this will do is we'll make, so that all of these flavors are going to come in and have a little party. And at the end of this, we will make a cultured flavor, we're going to add a bit of class to these ducks from Long Island. And that's what thyme is. The one thing about thyme is there's no real way to speed it up. It is ironic that it is called thyme because it takes fucking forever to fucking pick. First time I worked in the kitchen, one of the things that they made me do was pick 80 grams of thyme, just the leaves. And if you want to know how much that is, it's like a metric fuck ton. Okay, so now what we're going to do, that we have everything kind of seasoned properly, I'm going to take all of our herbs and all of our zest, and just kind of put it all in there. And then we're going to take the garlic, again, same thing, and the lemon. And now that they are all together, a bit of a flavor orgy. Okay, we're going to mix it all together, comme ça. And I really don't have any sort of method again for this. You want to make sure, yep, that it's all kind of touching. It becomes a bit like a paste once all the flavors are together. I can see that I need a little bit more sugar in there, so I'm going to just kind of crumble that on there. Again, this is all by visuals. You kind of like, you don't want to see all of everything. You want to see like, oh yeah, there's that and there's that, but also like you can't see any of it. You know what I mean? It's like, I have no frame of reference. I don't know in English how you say to this. But okay, now this is good, you know, and what we are going to do, there are two methods. The one that I like is I'm going to put it into vacuum for 24 hours. So we have a little vacuum sealer. It makes a lot of noise and scares my cat. Yeah, we're going to mix those together. But you could also just cover this in plastic and put it in your refrigerator for 24 or 48 hours. Same thing works if you do 10 or 20 or 40 or 100 of these. So now we've got everything in the vacuum bag, and most of it's on the flesh side right now. So if you don't have vacuum, you can keep it in your bowl and just cover it in plastic or do this in a Ziploc bag. It really doesn't matter. You don't have to be good at anything to do this. I'm not good at most things, and I can do this.
Les chasseurs à ma porte comme les petits soldats qui veulent me prendre. Je ne veux pas travailler, je ne veux pas déjeuner, je veux seulement oublier et puis je fume. Déjà j'ai connu le parfum de l'amour, 1 million de roses n'embaumerait pas autant. Maintenant une seule fleur dans mes entourages me rend malade. Je ne veux pas travailler, je ne veux pas déjeuner, je veux seulement oublier et puis je fume. Je ne suis pas fière de sa vie qui veut me tuer. C'est magnifique être sympathique, mais je ne le connais jamais. Je ne veux pas travailler, non, je ne veux pas déjeuner. Je veux seulement oublier, puis je fume.
Okay, so it has been 24 hours. It's these ducks that we have taken from their lives in Long Island, getting in and out of Honda Civics and wearing jeans and jean jackets, playing in Van Halen cover bands. And we have cured them, and now what we are going to do is we are going to cook them. This is a bit of a new piece of technology called the sous-vide. It was a gift from my ex-boyfriend Kyle. And so simply, this will keep the water set at the temperature for as long as I would like it to. So I set it at 68 degrees Celsius, 155 degrees Fahrenheit, and I just put the duck in the water, comme ça. And a little trick is I have to weigh it down to make sure that it's completely submerged. So I take a quart containers like this, fill it with water, and I just put it in, comme ça. So that will keep it completely submerged. And now I just leave it alone. I can take my phone and check on the sous vide, which is something I could never do with Kyle. And now I can simply, text, bonjour sous vide, comme ça, and he will just get me back, well, 68 degrees, it's been cooking for 9 hours, it's so wonderful. And I will be like, oh, no, it's so good. We have a very nice relationship. And so now we just leave it alone, and away we go. Ah, you came back. You may not know this, but this is our third date. I don't usually get those. It's probably because I'm cooking you dinner. Yeah, is that it? Well, okay. So after we've cooked this in the sous vide for about 12 hours, we have. I took it out and just put it in the refrigerator until I was ready to cook around dinner time. And so we're going to just very simply just take it out of the bag. Just like comme ça. So, just a bit of a corner that you want to cut. I like to reuse the bags because they're made of plastic. And shit's crazy. This thing will outlive us. In the end, there will be cockroaches and vacuum sealed bags. Okay, so we will take this like so. You'll see it's covered in fat, right? So this is good. What I like to do is I start with it with the skin side down, just help it crisp up a bit. And what we're going to do in order to make sure that it gets nice and crispy is I'm going to just put it in just like that. I don't really need to put the extra fat in, but you can if you'd like. I'm not going to because it's got plenty that will still render down. And I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to just put it in this cast iron like this and put it in, no problem. And now, in about 10 minutes, I will come back and flip it. And then we will do the same thing for another 10 minutes and let it go. But you could do this now or in 10 weeks, whenever. It's perfectly preserved. It's parfait. Okay, so after about 20 minutes, I've taken these out of the oven. They are nice and crispy. And I've just prepared a simple salad of arugula, olive oil, sea salt, a little bit of black pepper, and lemon juice. And I'm just going to serve a little bit for me with the duck red on top. No problem. C'est parfait. And I've cracked my third bottle of red wine. One of the nice things about the internet is that you can be anyone that you want to be. So I've taken it upon myself and invited all of my ex-boyfriends to a group Zoom chat with a beautiful stranger. So, away we go.
Je ne veux pas travailler, non, je ne veux pas déjeuner. Je veux seulement